So Cedric Ceballos compared. He said if LeBron James came out back in the day, he'd have been Karl Malone. What did I think about the LeBron Karl Malone thing? It is there. LeBron is like a hybrid of different people. It's a nod to Karl Malone. It's a nod to Shaquille O'Neal to an extent. It's a nod to Magic Johnson. It's a hybrid of different things, you know. But let's just stick to the Karl Malone thing. He never got to play with a guy like John Stockton that would put him in the post because LeBron James never really repost. And when people ask about LeBron, he owes a lot of his. He's in some depth to Steph Curry because the 3-point line aided and abated a lot of his career. Now, when Karl Malone got older, he had a fadeaway shot which he worked on, and it helped him. Mid-range jump shot, knocked it down, and that helped him a lot. A lot of years he finished second to Michael Jordan in scoring. Wilt Chamberlain pointed out in Who's Running the Asylum, but by Jordan shooting a couple of technical shots here and there, uh, was a difference because they were 1 and 2, and Karl was a 10 rebound a night guy, third all time leading scorer. I do believe that because of what happened with the Lakers situation, Karl could have came back and broken Kareem's record. I believe that. We'll never know. But I don't know if the NBA wanted him there because of a lot of different reasons. And he wasn't a commercial command and selling person, even though he did win 2 league MVPs, but he wasn't the wholesome guy. But does Cedric Sabalos have a point when he says that if LeBron James would have been Karl Malone uh, back in the day? Size wise, but Malone was bigger and LeBron was more agile, but two different ways of how you approach it. Of course, if LeBron played like Karl Malone, he would probably get more free throw attempts. So that's why he doesn't get as much. And Karl Malone did have longevity, and Karl Malone took care of himself. Having a John Stockton would have been a real interesting situation. Because see, LeBron likes to get his hands on everything and puts his hands on everything. So we'll never know what it would have been like if he had to actually play with a point guard who could control tempo, who's an all-time great. And elephant in the room, a Jerry Sloan coach. Do you really think Jerry Sloan would have let LeBron James dance and sashay and frail and flop and do all kinds of contortion? I don't think so. I don't think so. Different era too. Cats would have bumped LeBron on the hip, you know. Because you get guys like Anthony Mason who would have face guarded him, gotten physical with him. See, the thing is, yes, LeBron could have played in different eras and all that. However, what Karl Malone was able to do because of strength and working on his game and conditioning, he was able to endure. There wasn't sitting around there shooting a lot of threes and doing a lot. You gotta remember how some of LeBron James what's the word I want to use? It's a big word, but accrued accrued the numbers that he got because the 3-point shot was the volume. He got to do more. So it's different. Yeah, I can see it. Now you ask me who would have a better chance to succeed if we flipped eras. I'd probably tell you Karl Malone because if the Utah Jazz had him with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, they're going to about 2 or 3 finals. I don't think LeBron James would have done much anything with Cleveland with Brad Daugherty and Elo and Mark Price. I don't think he could have really and Ron Harper. I don't think, and I just know what the defense that were there. Plus, you gotta remember something. This is why I mentioned the Steph Curry factor with LeBron James. He didn't always have an outside shot. So when they played the Spurs the first time, it was like let him shoot. Popovich, even in the finals in 2013, if you remember, was like let him shoot because he can't shoot. He self-check. When you go to the gas station, you self-check. He developed that, and then he added to his repertoire. And like I said, he owes Steph Curry that because without that 3-point shot, his career may have been over about 6, 7 years ago. He wouldn't have tallied the points he did to start shooting long range. So he added that to his repertoire. So that was to him. They weren't doing that in the 90s, 80s, 90s. You had specialists for that. So that alone, Karl Malone, now he might be considered overall better athlete numbers wise, But if I had to put him up in that, what those cats was putting wood on you, the Buck Williams era, the Charles Oakley's era, those kind of feisty guys, the Davis brothers in Indiana, I don't think LeBron's gonna be as fluid in this. He put up some numbers, but I'm telling you, Karl Malone worked himself to being better. Remember, Charles Barkley was a standard, and Barkley was a handful. So think about it from that perspective. Before we get to Kevin Garnett, before we get to the Duncan, the guys that you know, Dirks, etc. Anyway, let me know what you think about what Cedric's about to say. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.